All right. As far as the injuries go today for practice, really Royals is the only one that won't practice. Everybody else will go. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Chargers. Again, they're a good football team. They're into that second year, so you know that they've got the offense, defense, and special teams down. Jim does a great job with that crew of getting them ready. They've got good players. They're well coached. So, I mean, their coordinators, Greg on offense, Jesse on defense, and Ryan on the special teams. They're all good coordinators, and so it should be a heck of a football game. Look forward to going to Brazil. I mean, that's going to be you don't get invited unless you've done all right in the past. So we feel honored to have an opportunity to go down there. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Hey Andy, we haven't seen Hollywood in a preseason game. I just wondered what your take is on him and his progress.
Yeah, so listen, I think he'll be okay. I mean, he's a veteran guy. If he's younger, I'd probably say he'd be a little bit more worried about it. But he's he's a veteran guy that kind of knows how to go about it, and I think he should be fine. And we've got guys that can rotate into, so it's not we mix and match kind of as we go.
The past year and change, have you seen Jim Harbaugh elevate what they're doing over there?
Yeah, I think he does a great job with really all the phases, and I know as you go here, he can even add more. So it's they've done a nice job. That's what I can tell you. Yeah.
Andy, what concerns you most about the Chargers defense? I know they led the league last year in points.
Yeah, they're a zone team, but the zones are tight and they have a bunch of different combinations. Plus, they can play man, and they do that well. But their zones they do a heck of a job with that. So you can see why they were ranked so high, and they're not gonna. They're trying not to give up the big play, obviously, but at the same time be able to attack underneath. They've got good speed on the defense, and those front guys. I mean, 52, heck of a player, and that number 3 is not bad either. So they're good players for him.
Andy, over the years, especially the last couple of years, we had to travel to Germany and Brazil. Just what have we learned about just the organization process of getting everybody in line with making an international trip, knowing that there's going to be a long flight and taking care of everybody's bodies, make sure you're at top speed for this?
Yeah, I just look at the time of preparation that the people did, and they try to do it so it's not any problem with the players or coaches. They kind of keep us out of it, but the work that goes on behind the scenes there is crazy. You're moving up basically the whole crew to go down there for a couple days. It's one thing to go for a day to a game, let alone a couple days. So it's quite a challenge. And then you've got different medical staffs that you've got that aren't quite as familiar with what we're doing, and that whole part of it. So it's an interesting process, but our guys have gotten pretty efficient with it over the years.
It's been a long time.
You played these games. It's been mid-season when you've gone over to Germany and then Mexico City. Is there a difference being in the middle of the season as opposed to being at the beginning of the season?
I'd say if it was our first year, that might be a pretty big challenge, but having done it before, I think our people have a pretty good feel for it. I think the players, when it's all said and done, they just want to play. They don't really care where it is. I'd probably tell you both teams feel that way. That's what I've noticed over the years.
It's been a long time since you've had any kind of regular schedule. We never see you guys play at noon on Sunday anymore, it seems like. So what have you done to kind of impress upon your team that we have to keep everything kind of going?
Yeah.
And how much of a challenge has that become?
Yeah, well, it's the head coach's responsibility to keep things as organized and on time for the guys, consistent as you possibly can for that. That's one of the jobs that I've got that I deal with. But it hasn't been a problem. These guys are so willing to do anything that you lay it out there and they go, okay, here we go. It's been pretty good. But depending on the stacked days in a row, as far as when you play 3 games in 10 days, something like that, the rest becomes, you got to give these guys some time to get themselves back, you know. So.
Andy, we talk to you regularly during camp, but big picture, what stood out about Patrick just over the course of the last 4 weeks?
Yeah, I thought. Well, first of all, I thought he had a good camp all the way through. You know, he's a great leader. He's continued on with that. Wants to know everything. Loves that part of it. Asks great questions. I like the way that he's got some guys back now for a second term, so just he's familiar with them and trying to take that to another level for game, you know, on game day. So I know that's one of his challenges right now with the crew that we have, and he feels comfortable with the guys, and so that's a good part. But he doesn't, you know, he doesn't let anything really bother him. He just full steam ahead with a positive attitude. That's the thing I appreciate the most. So I think he's even taken it up a notch this year, and he's really had a nice camp. You can see he's comfortable with the guys that he's playing with out there.
Last one, Pete.
Not that he's, just to follow up on Patrick, not that he's not always good, but it seems like these isolated games, these primetime games, he really rises to the occasion. Have you noticed an excitement level that raises in him for something like this?
Yeah, listen, he likes to play every game. I mean, he probably does. I don't know that. I know he gets up for every game. I mean, you know, you play one of the high school teams, he'd be fired up. You know, so he didn't care.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, good.